Rules. There are none. Have fun and be yourself. Hello, my name is Beez, also known as Beez Designs. I'm a multidisciplinary artist specializing in mixed media art, traditional digital art, and graphic design. Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how authentically are you living your life online and offline? I would say online, uh, I people only see what I want them to see. So I'm not really there to I'm only there to showcase anything I'm really working on. So what you're getting is what you get, but I try to be authentic in my content creating when when I'm doing voiceovers or whatever it is that I'm trying to make that video based on. Because when I start to do things that are like too scripted, it just feels unnatural. So I'll start off with some kind of format, but like I scrap it. But offline, I'm just me. I feel like I'm authentic in every it just happens. I don't know, you know. Um, but I didn't answer the question on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh my gosh, I'd say 10. Always, you know. All right, what is your mission? What drives you to create in the ways that you do? My mission, oh, I would say my overall mission is to impact as many people as possible in a positive way with my art and creativity. But that's not, not everything has to be based around art. So just again, just trying to impact people, positively. And then what drives me to create in the ways that I do, I would say my past. I think everything that I've gone through really is my fuel for what pushes me. It's something I was actually discussing this morning was like the different phases of my life and how I got to this point to be this creator, this artist. And you would think I was like drawing every day or something, as a kid, and it wasn't like that. I moved a lot, and there's a lot of disruption in the household at times. So like it really was something that like I was forced in a way to like kind of think outside the box, think outside the norms, to try to make things easier. So thinking back on where I started and like from having nothing to having a little bit of something, that's what drives me, and also like my goal, keeping in mind that like I'm here to create and to help people. I just have to do it. Part of the process is actually doing it, right? Not just talking about it, but proceeding and executing and then sharing. So yeah, like I guess I answered that. I'm a little nervous now. Get
That's
it?
okay.
Now it's the hot seat. I get exactly why it's called the hot seat because I'm feeling it. What matters more to you, technique or the feeling? That's a good. It depends. It depends on what I'm creating. Some things I like to go into it with a plan of how I'm going to do it essentially with the layers. Like everything with creating, I feel like has like this layering process. And my base for me, it's one of the most critical parts. Like if I don't do the base how I need to, then it kind of throws off the rest because then you start working backwards. So sometimes I'll have that plan of okay, I need to do this, this, and this. But then other cases, I just look at them like I just need to do it. So if I'm doing a commission, I go into it with more technique and more intentional structure, just so that I get whatever I'm trying to do, or get whatever it is I'm trying to get from up here out here for my client. All right, so I'll go into that way of thinking. But if I'm just creating for myself, oftentimes I'm just like I'll just go at it and try to flow until I need to like restructure. Sometimes like I don't need to restructure at all. Sometimes I just continue to just keep flowing. I'm like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like this, and then it just keeps going. So it depends, but that's a really good question. Technique, technique, technique. You watch SpongeBob? All right. How much of your art is you? Do you ever lose yourself creating for others? Um, it's a good one too. My art, I feel like is 100% me, no matter what it is. But there are times where I get very frustrated with a piece because it has to be like if I'm working on somebody's like dog, and I'm doing a dog portrait, and it's one of those things where like you can mess it up like very easily. So when I try to like when I'm in that perfectionist mode and I'm like just focused in on like one area, I start to get like I started to feel like this negative feeling of like like, why am I even doing somebody's dog right now? You know, and I just want to toss the whole thing out and realize I have bills. You know, I gotta I gotta live, so I'm gonna do this. So then it becomes a feeling of like I need to do it, rather than just creating and flowing. So sometimes I can get lost in that way. Yeah, I lose myself sometimes. It depends on like what I'm working on. But I always remind myself, okay, the basics, how to like pull myself out of it when I need to, and like kind of regroup, then move forward, and then just get a whole fresh perspective on the piece. And then I'm like, okay, I found myself back in. Let's catch this groove. I'm about to do this dog portrait now. So, yeah. If your wildest dreams had already come true, what would your future self tell you to stop holding back? Hmm. I would tell myself to care less about what people think. I think early on in my career, I held back a lot of what I was doing because I was so, I guess you would say a lot of artists are like this, like sensitive to their work. There's this vulnerability that happens when, like this in between, it's like, okay, I have this piece, and I know I like it and it's dope, but the feedback sometimes can deter artists, or you get you can have a million comments that are like, oh, this is dope, but you get that one and then it really like fuck with you, and it's like and I don't know about you, but I feel that in a weird, in a different way, and it's like I'm like, did I do this right? Oh, maybe I could, and then you start second guessing yourself. But no, screw that. Like, hold on, I got to call. I'm sorry. Don't hold back anything. Full send it. Full send whatever it is you're creating, what you're working on, what you love, what your passion is. Full send it. Just put it out there, because there's so much stuff out there in the world too where like if people don't like it, they can just find something else. So just keep pumping it out. Whatever it is you love doing and you feel good about it. Yeah, I feel like that would be it. Sorry, I'm like these are good questions too. It really got my noggin going. What are you learning to love about yourself? Hmm. I love that I continuously seek evolution. Like I continuously want to just do better, and I love that I have not stopped that, that way of thinking. Because if I did, then I'd be complacent and content. If you're stagnant, then there's no progress. So for me, it's just the love of the game and loving like to learn and to keep evolving. So I think that would be it right there. Sorry, I'm like getting nervous again. This is different.
This is
Hot
what I
seat.
want.
This is the hot seat. I'm gonna slow down though. I think I'm starting to like get ahead of myself. Any final? Are we almost done?
This is the last
Oh
one.
man. Any final thoughts? Well, first of all, I love that I'm here. I love that we're having this conversation, and I'm able to vocalize what's in here, because not too many people do. Not too many people really get to even hear what I sound like, because for the most part, I do just post a lot of my work, and with times changing and with the algorithm, you got to get more creative. You got to go that extra mile, with throwing a voiceover, or adding some text, making sure the lighting and everything, like these little things, they all go into effect. So what I will say, if you're doing anything, don't half-ass it. Definitely do it to your best of your abilities. And just in general, like aside from the art, spread more love, spread more positivity, be kind to people, and stand up for what is right, because where we're at right now, it's very confusing times. But what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and people know the difference. So make the right decisions when the time comes.